Good morning, everyone. Boker Tov. The bulk of this week's Torah portion discusses the prohibition against speaking Lashon Hara, negatively, bad words about other people. The most prized possession that any human being owns is their reputation. And when you disparage someone, especially if what you're saying is not true, but even if what you're saying is true, and repeating gossip and slander and Lashon Hara, this is considered in Judaism one of the worst sins, so much so that it's very difficult to repent because it's almost impossible to undo the damage and restore the person's name. Now, if the Torah tells us that speaking negatively about others, Lashon Hara, bad speech, is a sin, then obviously the opposite of that, which would be a mitzvah, is Lashon Tov, speaking positive words. Someone once said, be such a positive person that negative people can't stand being around you. If you want to dispel negative speech from you, be someone who speaks positive words about other people. As a matter of fact, when God created the world, we find that after each day of creation, He created whatever was created on that day, and then it says, Vayar Elokim ki tov. God saw that it was good. Why does the Torah teach us that? Because the Torah is saying is that there's creation, but in order to strengthen and sustain creation, you have to see the positive. And that's surely true with human beings. When you praise someone, when you point out their goodness, you strengthen that goodness and you cause it's like water on a plant that causes it to flourish and draws out more of that inner beauty by recognizing it in others. Because human beings, as Carol Dweck, the Stanford psychologist, says in her book Mindset, could either have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. A growth mindset means that we're not fixed, we can continue to grow. So if you notice something good in someone, help it grow by praising it and acknowledging it and recognizing it. And that will draw out more of that potential from within the person. There's a story that was told. There was a Jew in Crown Heights. His name was Yankel. He had a bakery. He was a Holocaust survivor. And he told an amazing story. He said that when he was sent to the concentration camps in the cattle cars, the Jews were tightly packed into the cars, and they drove for days to the camps. And it was a bitter, freezing cold night in Poland. And he said they were starving and thirsty and freezing cold. And there was an old Jew. He was a young man. There was an old Jew sitting next to him or standing next to him on the train, packed together. And the man was cold. So all night, as they were going through the dark night, traveling in the bitter cold, he kept on rubbing him to keep his body warm. When the sunlight started to come through the train in the morning as the sun rose, he saw that everyone in the train had passed away from the cold and the starvation. The only two people who survived was him and this old Jew. He said the old Jew survived because he was keeping him warm all night. And he said he survived because he was keeping that old Jew warm all night. We live in a cold world. There are words that hurt. There are words that make the world colder. There are words that are destructive. There are words that are used as a weapon to harm and injure other people, violent words, and then there are words that heal and comfort and strengthen. And the more we use our words positively, the warmer and more beautiful we make the world around us and our environment. But not only do we warm others and literally save lives through our positive words, just like negative words can kill, as we witnessed yesterday on Yom HaShoah, the hatred and the rhetoric of the Nazis led to the murder of 6 million Jews. Positive words and words of love and kindness can give life, and not only to those we speak them, but to ourselves as well, because when we warm others, we become warm as well. Have a wonderful day.